Imagine a strange scene unfolding in the biggest city on Earth. You are standing in the middle of Tokyo. The busiest train station in the world rushes all around you. Millions of people move like a massive river of dark business suits and hurried footsteps. The noise of announcements and train whistles fills the air. Suddenly you look down and see a tiny 4-year-old child. The child is wearing a bright yellow hat and carrying a small backpack that looks far too heavy for their small shoulders. There is no parent anywhere in sight. There is no older sibling holding their hand. The child walks straight up to the complex ticket gate, completely alone. The tiny hands push a paper ticket into the glowing machine. The mechanical gates open. The child walks onto the crowded platform and steps onto a massive steel train, just as the heavy doors slide shut. You feel your stomach drop instantly. You look around in absolute panic, expecting someone to scream or call the police. But no one blinks. The adults reading their morning newspapers do not even look up. The train speeds away into the dark tunnel with the toddler standing alone holding a handrail. By the end of this journey, you will understand exactly why this child is perfectly safe and why you feel so terrified watching them. We live in a completely different reality. We watch our children like hawks circling an open field. We buy expensive GPS tracking devices and attach them to backpacks. We download apps to monitor exactly where our family members are at every single second of the day. We install cameras in bedrooms to watch infants sleep. We track their heart rates and breathing patterns from our phones. The American Psychological Association recently reported that anxiety in children and teenagers has reached the highest levels ever recorded in human history. We do absolutely everything right according to the experts. We read hundreds of parenting books. We buy the most expensive impact-rated car seats. We pad the sharp corners of our coffee tables with soft foam. We walk our children to the bus stop until they are teenagers. We drive them everywhere they need to go, yet our children are terrified of the world. Two worlds exist side by side. One world where a 5-year-old rides a crowded subway alone to buy fresh vegetables for dinner. Another world where a 19-year-old college student suffers a severe panic attack because they have to make a phone call to schedule a simple doctor appointment. We are exhausted from constant vigilance, while they seem to inherently trust the universe. Why are we working so hard to protect them, only to make them more afraid? Think about your last trip to the neighborhood playground. You stood right behind the swing set. You hovered closely at the bottom of the tall slide. Your shoulders were tight. Your breath was shallow and fast. You held out your arms just in case they slipped on the ladder. You caught them before they could even hit the soft wood chips below. Are we protecting them, or are we feeding our own deep anxiety? What happens when you are not standing there to catch them? Do they know how to fall? Do they know how to dust off their knees and get back up? We build massive walls around them, thinking we are creating a safe harbor. But what if we are actually building a cage? What if our obsession with safety is exactly what makes them feel so incredibly fragile? You check your phone within 5 minutes of waking up to make sure the world has not ended. You read the terrible news, and you project that constant hum of dread directly into their highly sensitive nervous systems. There is a specific word in Japanese culture that explains this massive difference in how we raise humans. The word is Amae. It is a concept so deeply woven into their society that for a long time, there was no exact English translation. It comes from the ancient verb amaeru. The literal translation means to depend and presume upon the unconditional love of another. The root of the word means sweet. It describes the sweet dependency of a child resting safely in the arms of a mother. In plain, simple English, it means the absolute freedom to be completely helplessly dependent on another person. It is the unspoken cultural guarantee that you will be caught and cared for without any judgment whatsoever. Slow down and really feel the weight of that radical idea. Absolute permission to rely entirely on someone else. In our culture, to depend on someone is seen as a weakness or a character flaw. We call it codependency, and we rush to fix it, In their culture, it is seen as the vital emotional glue that holds a healthy human being together. Here is the twist that shatters everything we are taught about independence. We believe independence is a straight line. We push our children away early to make them tough and resilient. We put newborn infants in separate dark bedrooms. We let them cry alone so they learn to self-soothe. We tell toddlers to do it themselves the moment they can walk. We force independence onto them as quickly as humanly possible. Japanese culture does the exact opposite. They believe extreme independence is only possible through extreme early dependence. You do not build a self-reliant adult by pushing them out into the cold rain to toughen up. You build them by letting them be completely and intensely attached to you first. They soak up this sweet dependency like a dry sponge in water. Once they are entirely full of this secure attachment, they naturally want to explore the world on their own. The paradox is that holding them close creates freedom, while pushing them away creates endless anxiety. Let us look at the massive mountain of evidence supporting this. Walk through the bustling streets of Osaka or Kyoto on any weekday morning. You will see groups of tiny children wearing matching hats walking to school completely alone. The Ministry of Education in Japan actually mandates that elementary school children commute independently to build character. Look at the groundbreaking research by anthropologist Lois Peake. She spent years intensely studying Japanese preschools and family dynamics. She found that mothers indulge their infants almost completely. They sleep in the same bed on floor futons for years. They carry them everywhere in fabric slings. They rarely say the word no to a young toddler. Western psychologists used to look at this behavior and call it terrible spoiling. But researchers soon realized this intense early attachment creates a rock-solid foundation of profound psychological security. Because the child knows the parent is always an absolute safe harbor, they feel zero anxiety about stepping away. Contrast this with long-term studies from the National Institute of Mental Health. Children forced into independence too early often show much higher rates of adult anxiety and depression. They never fully internalized that safe harbor when their brains were developing, so they spend their entire adult lives anxiously trying to control their physical environment. Meanwhile, the Japanese child trusts the environment implicitly. The community acts as an invisible extension of the parent. Local shopkeepers keep a watchful eye on the sidewalks. Train conductors look out for the little yellow hats in the stations. The police officers at the neighborhood boxes know all the local kids by name. The whole society becomes a giant safety net of Amae. They learn early that strangers are not inherently dangerous threats. Strangers are just neighbors you have not met yet. True independence is not the ability to survive alone, but the absolute trust that you belong to a world that will catch you. I have to confess something to you right now. I struggle with this intense need for control every single day of my life. I frequently check my phone to track the exact location of my family members. I worry endlessly about accidents on the highway when it rains. I want to control every single tiny variable to keep everyone safe from harm. I catch myself stepping in to solve minor problems before they even happen. When I see someone I love trying to carry something heavy, I rush over to take it from them. I realize my constant need to protect is often just a mask for my own deep fear of losing control. I am not actually giving them security. I am transmitting my own nervous system dysregulation directly into their bodies. I am robbing them of the beautiful chance to prove to themselves that they are highly capable. I am making them weaker because I cannot handle my own discomfort. You can start changing this deeply ingrained pattern right now in your own home. You do not need to move across the world to practice this philosophy. You just need to implement 3 simple daily actions. Practice 1 is the 5-minute sacred pause. The next time someone you love struggles with a simple physical task, do not help them for 5 whole minutes. Watch them fumble with their shoelaces on the floor. Watch them try to open a stubborn glass jar in the kitchen. Bite your tongue hard. Put your hands deep in your pockets. Let them experience the natural friction of the world. They will either solve the problem with great pride, or they will look up and explicitly ask for your help. The pause teaches them real resilience. Practice 2 is the micro-errand. Give them one real, authentic task that takes them entirely outside your field of vision. Start incredibly small to build trust. Ask them to retrieve a specific item from the neighbor next door while you wait inside. Advance to sending them to the counter at a local coffee shop. Hand them a $5 bill. Tell them to buy a pastry and bring back the exact change. Sit outside on a bench far away where you cannot intervene. Let them interact with the cashier completely alone. They must navigate a real-world transaction without your shadow hovering over them. Practice 3 is the anchor of sweet reunion. When they return from their micro-errand, you must give them a massive dose of Amae. You do not just give them a casual high five and move on. You offer deep, undivided emotional warmth. You let them sink into your embrace. You put away your phone and look them directly in the eyes. You validate their incredible bravery by being their ultimate soft landing place. You show them clearly that the harbor is always there, waiting for them no matter how far they sail. Think back to that 4-year-old child riding the subway train. The doors open at the final stop with a loud chime. The little shoes step onto the busy platform among the rushing adults. The journey was loud and big, and maybe a little scary at times, but the child walks with quiet, steady purpose. They know the exact path out of the station. They know the world is watching out for them from every corner. As they walk up the concrete stairs, they see their grandmother, waiting perfectly still by the ticket gate. The fierce independence suddenly melts away completely. The child drops the heavy bag and runs forward and falls into a warm hug. The child is carried the rest of the way home, resting a tired head on a soft shoulder. It is the perfect, beautiful balance of venturing out bravely and returning to absolute safety. The world outside is not a constant, terrifying threat. It is just a massive, extended family waiting to be trusted. How did you learn to be independent when you were young? Did you have a safe harbor, or did you have to build your own boat while swimming in the freezing ocean? Tell me your story below.